Welcome back to 2C TV, your global news channel. I'm Maya 2C, and for once we are coming to you with some good news, some happy news. Who would have thought? It's usually doom and gloomy. But breaking news are coming from Nigeria following the earlier report that 38 Christian worshippers who were rescued by the security forces, 50 school children, Christian kids from a Catholic school who were also kidnapped alongside many others, they've also managed to escape. Not rescued, escape. So it's all kicking off. We're going to give you guys all the updates in this live stream while the liberal media and the Western leftist weirdos don't care. They still care about this. Free Palestine, massive queue to go in there. Save the Nigerian Christians. Wow. Who cares about that, apparently, according to these weirdos. Anyway, let's give you guys all the updates. We're going to get your reaction in the live chat as usual. First things first. Over the last couple of days, we've been reporting on 2C TV, armed men stormed yet another Catholic school in Nigeria, abducting dozens of children and staff. That was the initial report. Then we discovered that it was actually a lot more than just a dozen, because a few days before, we had 25 girls who were taken by the Islamists near Kebbi. The initial reports, local reports, said 52 kids are missing. The authorities said that they had intelligence that this could happen from the terrorist groups, but it happened anyway. Then we discovered actually it got much worse than that, because it wasn't just about a dozen or two. They abducted 303 school children, 12 teachers, all from the St. Mary's School. And this is according to the Christian Association of Nigeria that confirmed this after recounting the whole thing. The original tally was 215 and 88 students who were captured while trying to escape. Then they realized it's actually more than 300. Following that, even that newspaper initially said 215, which was incorrect. Following this, 38 of the Christian worshippers, who were also not the school children, the others who were kidnapped, they actually managed to be rescued by the Nigerian security forces. So initially, 38 were kidnapped. Armed gunmen went into a church during the church service in the northern part of Nigeria, grabbing the worshippers. Then obviously a number of them also got killed. Security forces managed to rescue them earlier on. And there's a video that we can actually show you from the moment their families were obviously happy and celebrating. Good news. Anyway, they were rescued by a joint operation involving Nigerian security forces, including the army, the police tactical teams, DSS, Nigerian intelligence agency, and also local vigilantes. Yeah, they had Batman and Superman and everybody involved, coordinated under the president's directives. So all that went well. Of course, there's still many others who are in captivity. A lot of hostages still in place. Now, 50 of the 303 of the school children who were snatched by the Islamist from a Catholic school managed to escape, as I said. This is one of the images from the Catholic school, St. Mary's Catholic School. A Christian group released a statement saying, "We have received some good news as 50 pupils escaped and have reunited with their parents." Now, according to the Christian Association of Nigeria, there is still much more to do. They actually continued their statement by saying, "As much as we received the return of these 50 children that escaped with some sight of relief, I urge you all to continue in your prayers for the rescue and safe return of the remaining victims." That was the chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Reverend Johanna. Now, earlier on, actually, when we were in church, of course, it's Sunday for Sunday Mass, there were a lot of conversations about what is going on in Nigeria. It's important that it's actually good to see, at least amongst the church community, even in England and other places, that there is a push to obviously spread the word, because the political establishment, for example, in Britain or elsewhere, they don't seem to actually care. The only government that has been pushing back is the United States under the presidency of Donald Trump. Otherwise, there hasn't really been there's no appetite for the European government to even get involved or say anything. Now, there's a major military-led search and rescue operation that is still underway as we speak for the remaining 265 school children and also 12 teachers who are still in captivity as hostage. Authorities in several Nigerian states have ordered schools to close down following the mass abduction that's been going on across the whole country, especially to the west and the north. Now, we have to go back to the United States as well. The reaction from President Trump over the last few days, over the last few weeks, actually, there's been a much more reaction. As I said, a big chunk of the promotion of spreading the word is coming from Catholic churches, of course, our local church in just outside London. And in the UK, obviously, the Catholic churches are pushing for it. In France, they are pushing for it. In Germany, they're pushing for it. In the United States, they're pushing for it. There are also other Christians who are, in some countries, are trying to spread the word. The only government that actually says something is currently the United States. Recently, President Trump did call out the Nigerian government, saying that Nigeria is a disgrace, the government is ineffective, and the Christians are getting killed. Yeah, so that was the president. But following that, there was also the push in the United Nations. Now, in terms of everything that's been going on over the last week, in the Security Council, the United Nations Security Council, there was a session on West Africa. Ambassador Waltz, the United States ambassador to the UN, led the whole thing, and in terms of the violence against Christians in Nigeria, but also across other countries, including Congo and elsewhere as well. But the primary focus was on that day and this week, Nigeria. We can actually go to a short clip from Ambassador Waltz. Apparently the sound is not working for this. Why is the sound not working? Okay, we'll make that. We'll get that sorted. Yeah, apparently there's a problem with the sound. I can hear it fine, but I don't know what's going on with the rest of this. I'll double check on this, guys. Apologies. Apparently you couldn't hear the ambassador. Can you hear me? As long as you could hear me, that's the most important part. We'll find out what's going on with the audio clips. President Trump has also announced that he will be designating the Muslim Brotherhood as a terrorist organization. Of course, with his friendship with MBS in Saudi Arabia and UAE, there's going to be a lot more push against the jihadis. we can hear Maya, but none of the clips. I don't know what's going on with that. I'll double check afterwards, because basically Ambassador Waltz was calling out the genocide in Nigeria. That was the summary of it, in case you missed it. But there's still a lot to do when it comes to raising awareness and pushing. Obviously, we are doing our job as media, but the rest of the legacy media and the political establishment is also their job to do this. And of course, it's also important for everybody all around the world and the lovely, lovely Christians and everybody else to keep faith. And you can also do that by watching our latest documentary on 2CTV Plus called Faith Deficit. You can scan the QR code or go on 2C.tv to get full access to all our documentaries, and that's me. There we go, that's me. And my 15 minute of fame. Then obviously, yeah, if you join now, by the way, in case you don't know, you can join for only £1. You can join 2CTV Plus, only £1 on our 7-day trial. You can obviously get full access if you like the platform, our streaming service, and also download the 2CTV app from your app stores. Faith Deficit on 2CTV Plus. Now, going to some of the reaction in the live chat. Again, apologies for that sound issue. It's not really going too well today when it comes to technology and 2CTV. Everything has been falling apart. I'm the victim. Ivan says, funny how us right-wing racists care about these Nigerian kids. I know, so far right. It's so. The excuse they give for the lack of protest about Nigerian Christians is that our country doesn't financially support the terrorists doing it, which isn't an excuse. Just thought I'd shed the light. No, that's not true, because we are funding them. So there is a lot of foreign aid that is being sent by the British government and used to by the American government. It's kind of stopped now since President Trump came back. And that was going to the regional forces, and a lot of them, obviously, the regions in Nigeria and provinces were controlled by the Islamic warlords. And so those guys were taking the money and killing the Christian children. So that we have actually been unintentionally funding partly the troublemakers and also the incompetent Nigerian government in general. Now, we are here to help each other. Believing doesn't know that. It's about time we should learn to reflect and learn to respect what all this damn noise is really about. Thank you. And yes, people are saying, now people are saying can't hear anything. I'm sure you can hear me. Can people confirm that you cannot hear me? Am I just talking to myself for no reason? Sounds bad. What sounds bad? Static. Is it static? What is going on? What? I don't know if you can hear me. Should I just say some bad words to test? Thank God they escaped. Yes, but let's not forget there's still over 250 who are still in captivity. Someone's shouting, "Can hear you!" Good. Ivan says, "Can hear you fine." Thank you. I'm not really sure why that person was saying can't hear me, but okay. Someone else says, "Not true, we can hear you just fine." Good, thank you for that. It was just Ambassador Waltz, and I think I'm blaming him. It's not me. It was his microphone. Let's just blame him. I mean, I could hear him, so clearly there was a problem with our system. Anyway, time for Blackwater to rebrand as holy water and do a cleanse. Anyway, someone's shouting, "Crusade!" Yeah, it's about time. Yeah, we can hear you. Not the clips. Some people may not be watching live. Yeah, I don't. Okay, this is the thing. So people do that sometimes. I used to do that when I was younger. People click on a live when the live stream is ongoing, right? And they go back to the beginning, which is good. It's a good thing to do. You can go back to the beginning, right? So you could watch. But then they forget that they're not watching live because you're behind. You're like 2 minutes behind, 5 minutes behind. And then they start leaving comments in the live chats, like everybody else leaving comments because it's live. And you're saying something, you're like 2 minutes, 2 hours behind, and it just confuses the whole live chat. That's the reason sometimes when someone leaves a comment about something that happened ages ago. Will Trump send boots on the ground, or is it intimidation? Yeah, there won't be boots on the ground. That would be insane. But President Trump has already indicated that there is going to be more diplomatic action in terms of sanctions and everything else. But there could be, because there were aspects of the Nigerian government, the military, that said, people are still leaving comments, can't hear your clips. That they're watching, but they're like 10 minutes behind. The aspects of the military in Nigeria said, if you're gonna come hit them, you can hit them, basically. If the Nigerian government actually coordinated with the US military, then fine. A couple of airstrikes targeted. If you know where they are, if you know who they are, then yeah. There's not going to be any boots on the ground, because that would be a little bit unnecessary, a little bit OTT from the Americans' perspective. But there has to be an international effort, everybody together. Tuesday TV versus technology round 2. Today isn't your day, is it? No, but it's not my fault. Usually it is. I don't know what I'm doing with this. I'm just pressing things for no reason. Maybe it's my fault. It's not my fault. No. The first live stream, it froze before we even went live. I didn't press anything. I can press things. I know how to use things sometimes. I don't know what's going on. I have to probably upgrade everything at this point. Might have been hacked. This is unacceptable, yet has been normalized. I'm assuming you're talking about the kidnappings, not what we were just talking about. Someone says, about time we took to the streets every Saturday with Nigerian flags. It gets attention when the useful idiots do it for the Islamists. But it doesn't get anywhere. Protests never achieve anything anyway. So you can go out there with Palestinian flags or with Nigerian flags, with whatever flag you want every Saturday. It doesn't really change anything. So you have to have the pressure that's put on your local MPs, and then from local MPs to government ministers, from government ministers to the Prime Minister. But even then, it depends what country you're talking about and what governments, because the British government is not really in charge of foreign policy. It's the Foreign Office, which is the British state, and the civil service. The ministers in Foreign Office, they just get told what to do, what to say, and they say it. The best example we have was the deal between the UK and Mauritius over the Chagos Islands. When the Labour government got into office, they went into the building, and David Lammy and others, and the civil servants in the Foreign Office basically put papers on the table saying, so this is happening, can you sign it? And he said, okay. If you think that politicians are making decisions, well, you haven't worked in Westminster. So each country is different, but the United Kingdom is specifically very, very much centralized, with ministers having limited power. Also because they're spineless. They can technically get MPs in Parliament to override these powers, but they don't. How long has this situation in Nigeria been going on for? Years and years. When did these jihadist groups start and diverting US-UK aid? So that goes back to the late 90s, early 2000s in terms of the foreign aid. But there has been many issues with the way the money has been transferred to some countries. So some of the countries that we've been giving money to are and were fully corrupt without anybody really being in charge. Best case that we have is currently Libya. And we were still giving money to Libya, even though Libya is not really unified. There's not one government actually in charge. There are different factions. And there are also other examples where there was a dictatorship, one person in charge, and we would give the money to that centralized body. For example, again, Libya at the time, 15 years ago, with Gaddafi, both cases, the money gets diverted to nonsense. So if you have a bunch of devolved warlords controlling chunks of a country like Libya, or other countries in general, like Sudan, Yemen, then you don't know where the money is going in general. But with dictators, you had obviously corrupt dictators, including Gaddafi and many others, who just used the money for their own vanity projects and whatever they had, and some of their minions to enjoy the gravy train. So anything that we've been technically sending to all these countries, it hasn't really gone where it was supposed to be going. Even those who say that, but the Foreign Office told us that the money is going directly to a project which is like building a school or building a hospital. But it doesn't really work that way, because even when you send it through a United Nations body or a multinational charity body, it doesn't really get there, because by the time the money gets to even a country like Nigeria or Libya or whatever, that is now in the hand of the financial systems in those countries and the treasury of those countries. The budget of the country is decided by either a centralized government or a bunch of warlords in different parts of the land. So it didn't, all the money just went missing or wasted or just used against us. But there's big business in that, because a lot of the corporations also got tax breaks because charity, and a lot of contracts, a lot of favors. So BlackRock, for example, had a lot of dealings in Africa with a lot of money. That they saw the benefits themselves, but the actual people in Africa, not much, unfortunately. Now, what is going on? The good news is, people who were watching from 15 minutes ago, they stopped talking about the sound in the live chat. But as I said, we do have our latest documentary on 2CTV Plus called Faith Deficit. If you want to go check it out, of course, you can go on 2c.tv or download the 2CTV app. If you join on the website, obviously you can join for only £1 on our 7-day trial offer, which you can again just go on the website directly. If you go on the app, it goes through your app stores, either Apple or Android. But join on the website, and then you can use the login details on the app as well, and you get other benefits as well as the chat forum and all the other shows that we have. So check that one out, and thank you again to everybody for joining. And I hope this was informative. I'm Maya Tusi, and we are the media.